Hey guys, this is 012 Boku coming at you with another movie review, and I'm coming at you with this. Well, there wasn't almost any glare, but there it is a little bit, not as bad, but so you guys can see, yep, going back to another anime film, Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie. What can I say? Other than yeah, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie. It's the very first one. It is not Bonds Beyond Time. I do not own that one yet. I need to get it. Need to find it. Probably will search the internet or search my local video stores, see if anybody has it or whatnot. But it was the time of the anime movies of the Pokemon movies, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh! So all the 4 kids stuff at the time was getting big hype and big reviews as well. So I mean, what can you say? The stuff was going strong. It was going huge. It was doing what was needed and intended to do. So there was just a whole lot of cool stuff happening at the time. And I mean, some of it you may have liked, some of it you may not have. But Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie follows like an interesting telling of how the show started out, but Yugi's puzzle um actually ending up releasing this man called Anubis, or the dark Egyptian god Anubis, king of the dead, uh basically as an evil person, even though Anubis is highly respected in actual Egyptian culture, but as an evil person and as a humanoid. So yeah, even though there is a dream sequence in this movie where Anubis is actually in his garb and headdress or has the head of a jackal. So I'm like, that's how you should look. But yet they had you be humanoid. And yeah. So, what can I say about it? It's a straightforward movie and whatnot. So, yeah. Let's take a look here. Let's see. You have Dan Green, who does Yugi, both as Yami Yugi is called, or the Pharaoh, or you have him as his child actor like Yugi Moto, and he does a really good job for both. Like Dan Green really can bring the young character out really good, but then when he becomes his teen adult self as the Pharaoh, his other life, obviously, or character form, however you want it to be, you know, Dan Green can bring that to the forefront, quite well. He's really good at doing that. He really can get serious, be kind and gentle, but yet be a very tough, intimidating person. Because, come on, you look at the Pharaoh Yami Yugi there, yeah, quite intimidating. And way better looking than his 15-year-old counterpart, which is like a little, little tiny sad kid, But even though Yugi's got a lot of heart and courageous, that's what makes his younger original self a lot better. Unless you guys debate, because a lot of people say it was the Pharaoh, but me and my roommate have judged when you see that flashback of Jaden getting the winged Karibo from Yugi, that's not the Pharaoh giving it to him. That it's that all the characters in GX are older. Like it's like 10 years later. So you're looking at adult Yugi as the Pharaoh, and it would make sense if that's who Yugi sort of was in the past. So that sort of makes sense that he would be that now. But like talking about GX would be another thing for another time. If I get the Yu-Gi-Oh shows on DVD, because I know they've been really starting to get like a lot of the original uncut Yu-Gi-Oh stuff out. So hey, if I ever get the original show or GX or anything, we'll talk about episodes or things like that in depth. But for the movie, yeah, it's like Dan Green does a great job with both characters. And then you have let's see, Eric Stewart, yep, as Seto Kaiba. Now Eric Stewart, we'll go over him as well in depth. He does Seto Kaiba for this movie, and he's really good at Seto Kaiba just being this cocky, jerkish, the P word, the Prick, if you guys, Because yeah, I don't want to say that and have my videos taken down by YouTube because I choose to use profanity and don't, warn about it. But I don't think Seto Kaiba's there. But yeah, there he is, right on the back there, Seto Kaiba there. Um, he is like the big jerk of the group. Like he has a respect for Yugi, but he's so determined to beat him as a rival. He loses himself in what he tries to do. Like he thinks like, oh, I lost a children's card game. My honor is forever shattered, and I must really beat Yugi Moto. I cannot take this loss. Lying down, Yugi. I must beat you. And if I don't, I'm gonna be so angsty that there's gonna be problems. And it's like, but I mean, I know that's a terrible impression of Seto Kaiba, but I mean, it's really cool just seeing him, do this character and just be the jerkish Brock, because he sounds exactly like Brock from Pokemon, but he's a jerk. He's confident. He's a good duelist, but he's overconfident, and his ego just gets in the way. And Eric Stewart does a great job. Great actor. From New York. If you guys have not heard of Eric Stewart, I would definitely check out his work. The guy is pretty much gold. He really is. He's a great actor. You also have Wayne Grayson as Joey Wheeler, and Wayne Grayson is yeah, that dude there in one of his best outfits, I think, wearing that one there for most of the series. And Wayne Grayson guy really brings a lot of like Brooklyn variety, as the joke has been to Yu-Gi-Oh. Sounds like he's from New York, but yet he's in Japan. But he's a good friend of Yugi's, has a great strength. Really supports him well, and he actually helps him out in this movie. You know, to fight yeah, off a bunch of fans, because this movie takes place after Duelist Kingdom, and like they're talking about how he beat Kaiba, he beat Merrick and Yami Merrick. Nobody really knows about Yami Merrick, but it was after that he's like the top duelist in the world. Everybody wants to beat him, and everybody's like, well, he wouldn't be so tough. He had the Egyptian God cards. Anybody can beat him, and a bunch of these duelists show up right outside their high school trying to assault him to get him to do him. But it seems like they're also going to start attacking the whole high school, these crazed duelists. So once again, children's cards games, the best thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! But what can you say? Like he volunteers to help protect Yugi as Yugi and Taya go out a side door to escape this crazed duelist, and Joey duels a whole bunch of other duelists, getting his bravado going, getting what he can do going. And, he shows in a small bit of time he's a good duelist. Really doesn't have time to showcase his skills in this movie. And then he goes throughout the rest of the film helping out Yugi, being there to have his back, helping him when they actually go, when Yugi, Tristan, Taya, and Joey go inside the Millennium Puzzle and start to fight what is the best stuff in the movie, a bunch of mummies under the control of Anubis and trying to take down Anubis. And it's funny how I'm saying that's the best stuff in the movie, because really, to tell you real quick, nothing huge of note happens in this movie. So that's why when I first saw this movie, I thought it was, not that bad and pretty good. But now it's like, it's an alright film. It's an alright film. It's not that great. It's not like the Pokemon movies. The Pokemon movies have a lot more at stake than the Yu-Gi-Oh movie did. And I'm even talking about the ones after the original 3 or 4, depending on how far you want to go, of the Pokemon movie run, which we will get to, by the way. See, there's also, I believe, oh yes, there is Tristan Taylor, who is voiced by Greg Abbey. And, Tristan Taylor with Greg Abbey, I don't know who did the original voice, but the original voice was not as good as Greg Abbey's portrayal. Like, Greg Abbey made him sound more intelligent, older, another tough guy. Greg Abbey does a good performance in this movie and in the show, where, always has Yugi's back, has Joey's back, because Joey and Tristan are like best buds. And, they're always doing what they can. And Tristan, much like Joey, doesn't do much in the film except for fighting the mummies and Anubis in the actual Millennium Item puzzle, but you know, it's like, hey, he's there to have people's backs, and he's there to support Joey when Joey's doing. But other than that, Tristan does not do much, but he's always, I guess, a delightful character. Um, then you have oh, I was wrong. Not that was not Lisa Ortiz. All right, I was bad about that because I thought that was Lisa Ortiz, but I I will refute that. You have Taya Gardner. Taya Gardner. Here, I'll try to show you here, and I don't think I showed you guys Tristan either. So yeah, there's Tristan in the green hoodie and Taya Gardner right there. Um, and she's voiced by Amy Birnbaum. Birnbaum. And I didn't know that Amy Birnbaum voiced her. I thought it was Lisa Ortiz. So I was wrong. Amy Birnbaum voices blah, um, Tristan Taylor and the act Taya Gardner. And you know, she, what can I say? Once again she helps Yugi in this movie when Yugi gets trapped in the Millennium Puzzle when he and Seto Kaiba are doing when Anubis set up this whole shadow game. You know, she ends up going in there too while jumping from a helicopter, losing her soul. You know, once she goes into the helicopter because she's on a helicopter trying to escape the destruction of the Kaiba Dome by Anubis, and you know, like Pegasus, Solomon Moto, and everybody else, and you know, Mokuba Kaiba are there to help her out. But she loses her soul, goes in the puzzle, helps him out that way. But of course, Taya Gardner, the one thing her character does is she reminds everybody of friendship. And oh my god, you get so tired of hearing about it, but you gotta give Amy Birnbaum credit. She delivers a good friendship, and you know, it's a good thing that her and her friends are there to support Yugi, but what else can I say? Friendship speeches and the heart of the team, but it's almost sickeningly so what Taya Gardner does, but Amy Birnbaum gives a good performance. Not saying you're bad, Amy Birnbaum. I'm just saying the character of Taya Gardner you play, holy crap. But pretty much what she does in the movie. Sorry, I've never been a huge fan of Taya, so I really couldn't say that much positive about her, but I've never really cared for her as a character. Um, then you have Mokuba Kaiba, voiced by Tara Jane Sands, or just Tara Jane as they have her in the movie. And Tara Jane, which, yeah, I don't think, yeah, you don't see Mokuba on here at all, but Tara Jane, who does Mokuba, is Mokuba Kaiba, is Kaiba's little brother, and Mokuba is always there to support Kaiba. Like, he's there supporting him throughout this movie, making sure things happen, you know, or helping out the other friends when they're in danger, when Anubis starts doing his stuff. But he's always there. But like, Mokuba was the kid who sort of helped Kaiba set everything up. The duel with Yugi, the way of supporting him to get the cards from Pegasus that he needed in the beginning of the movie. You know, like trying to help his brother Seto through the simulations of how to beat the Egyptian God card. So Mokuba is always there to help people. So that's what you could say. Mokuba is sort of the guy that sets up everything in the movie. Not completely for plot wise, but everything else that follows. Yes, Mokuba's there to set it up. So he's an interesting character that way. And Tara Jane has played that, you know, really good. She was a pretty good character for Mokuba. And Mokuba, the way Tara Jane always gives it, is there for Seto because they're brothers and their family, and they will do what they can for each other. Even though Kaiba sort of acts like he doesn't give a crap about Mokuba, but he really does. You also have Solomon Moto or Solomon Muto or yeah, Muto, Solomon Muto, who does so yeah, he does yeah, Matty Blostein does Solomon Muto, and or Moto, I guess you could say. We've always said Moto, so I think I'll say Moto for now. But yeah, he plays Solomon Moto and or Muto, and Solomon Muto, you know, does what he can, and you know, he's pretty much the reason why Yugi got into dueling, and you know what he does, but he does. And Solomon Moto is, you know, a good character. Plus, he was an archaeologist, so when he learns about the Egyptian archaeological dig that they had at the museum in Japan for what was recently unearthed, and a lot of diggers in the movies lost their lives because when Yugi completed his puzzle, the original excavationists who were there got trapped in Anubis's temple and they got buried alive within there and killed because the whole temple sort of fell around their heads. And when the surviving members bring uh, the exhibition back and the artifacts, Solomon Muto goes there with Yugi Muto, and they're both there to observe it. And Solomon sort of brings that legend to life when he needs to be. So Solomon Muto is there to provide with his intelligence, a way of moving the exposition forward for the plot. And I have to say Maddie Blostein does a very good character. And I never knew Maddie Blostein did like Solomon Muto and people like, yeah, I guess in the show he also did a member for the Pyramid of Light, or the Way of Light, or whoever that guy was who in GX, did things for the followers of light. I think that's what it was, followers of light. And that was a good role, but he was always good as Solomon Muto. And I mean, I just couldn't believe it because I always thought he would do high end characters, but yeah, he sort of does. He does high end characters, but I always thought Maddie Blostein, by how the name was and how it was, he was a woman, but he's gone by several names. There was Adam Blostein, which he originally did. There was Addie Blostein, which he did afterwards. Then Maddie Blostein. Then right before, because a lot of people said Maddie Blostein is dead. There was Madeline Blostein. I'm not sure if he is dead, but if he is, that is sad. But we lost a great actor. But Maddie Blostein really did a great job as Solomon Muto. Let's see. We also have Maximilian Pegasus, or Darren Dunstan playing Maximilian Pegasus. And he's not on here either, but if you guys remember the show, Maximilian Pegasus was the antagonist in the very first season of Yu-Gi-Oh, and he was the guy who created the game, Dungeon Monsters, I think they call it, but or Duel Monsters. But yeah, I guess he's still very much involved in the creation of cards, but he's taken a back seat into the private life and to what he needs to do. And he knows very much about the creations of his cards. And Anubis uses Pegasus to set things in motion because he does have a card that can use to beat Yugi, but there's also one that Anubis slips in there called the Pyramid of Light to get a secret shadow game going there for Maximilian, or for Seto Kaiba. And it's cool too because not only do we get to see Maximilian Pegasus again, and I think it's a Maximilian Kaiba, so Seto Kaiba for Maximilian Pegasus, sorry. And it's really cool to see Maximilian Pegasus again because I always enjoyed his character. I don't think it was that bad at all. I thought he was very entertaining, camp, but very entertaining. And Darren Dunstan always played him so well. And I'm always going to create this a shadow game. Yes. Ooh, I'm so ambiguously camp. Sorry, Yuki boy. This is how it's going to go. Oh, Kaiba boy. Are you back again for another game, Kaiba boy? Yes. It's like, he was always so flamboyant and I loved him. And sorry, I just needed to do a little voice for that there because he's just so cool. So I'm so ambiguously camp. Toon the world is shown again. Who wouldn't be happy about that? Yes, and see, that's what's enjoyable in this film too, is it's actually centered around Maximilian Pegasus quite well, and actually Seto Kaiba and Maximilian Pegasus actually have another duel in here, and I think that's cool because we get to see Toon World again, we get to see some of their old moves, and it's just cool to see Pegasus again all together. So I had to say I really enjoyed that for that. And then you have finally the last main character, the main villain, and it is Anubis, who is in the very back here. You can't see him, but he's that dude there. If you can make him out, but yeah, that's him there. And whew, well, I'm gonna really hit on him hard. Scotty Ray does Anubis, and for the time he was given for him, he did make him a sinister villain. And Scotty Ray did what he could work with and what there was for what the Japanese and everybody else gave for this movie. But Anubis was by the numbers villain. I mean, just this whole I have to use the Pyramid of Light card, Seto Kaiba, this duel. I'm actually hidden in the Millennium Puzzle. The more Kaiba and the Pharaoh duel, the more they lose their life force to bring me back. And oh, duel monsters are real again, hey? And as you see by how I'm explaining it and how it is once again quite ridiculous. It's over the top, it's bizarre, but I've got to mention that, it is what it is. But, I mean, I give Scotty Ray credit. He did what he could do. Anubis, you know, seemed threatening, but when you think about it, how easily Yugi's able to use cards to bring him down and how he has his moment of taking over the world but doesn't really get there or come close even, generic villain. Generic villain. So, the story was very by the numbers. It was a bit generic. It was basically more fueling the original feud of Seto Kaiba and Yugi. Seto Kaiba may as well have been the villain for this one because Anubis sadly factored in. And the best part of this movie is, like I said, when Yugi and all his friends get trapped in the Millennium Puzzle and they're actually fighting hordes of zombies and Anubis while trapped in there, which they help bring Anubis down. And yeah, Kaiba and the Pharaoh put the final nail in the coffin basically with Anubis, but it's like they basically did the main part of the work. And other than that, it's a bit blah. So altogether, I give this movie a 7 out of 10. I mean, the music from the show is always enjoyable to hear. The way they brought back Maximilian Pegasus, how we got actually a pretty decent role for Solomon Muto. How I guess seeing the arch rivals Yugi and Kaiba duel was really cool. Like you also get other cameo roles like My Valentine's in a cameo, Rex Raptor, Weevil Underwood. I guess you could say Merrick Ishtar is in there because he's shown as well. So yeah, cool little cameos. But other than that, it really didn't deliver as I thought this movie was going to by second viewing of this film. And it's a little subpar, so I've got to say, I mean, it's enjoyable to me, but other than that, I think it could have been done better. So I give it a 7 out of 10. And the duels were pretty enjoyable, but once again, it was a bit formulaic. But yeah, so 7 out of 10, and there you go. But what do you guys think? Do you guys like the first Yu-Gi-Oh movie? Is Bonds Beyond Time better, or even worth it seeing that one too? Or can you give some other original children's ideas? Because I have Digimon on VHS. I don't know if that ever came out on DVD, but I will check that one too. But I have the Digimon movie on VHS, and I have a good portion of the Pokemon films. I know they've made way more since. I don't own some of them. I want to get the Pokemon OVA, and I would like to see one of the recent films I think came out last year, Pokemon I Choose You, but I've not gotten to that point yet. But once again, what did you guys think about this film? Because I know I guess we've been having trouble with getting subscriptions and algorithms out there. If you like this thing, give it a thumbs up. Post a comment. Because I guess comments really help any of us out. Thumbs up, comment. Just let me know what you guys think. And if you like this movie, just let me know. And until next time, this is 012 Boku coming at you with another movie review. And I will see you guys again hopefully soon, okay? Alright, talk to you then.